you're a non-European citizen in Ireland, then you'll have to apply for an employment permit to work in Ireland. So there are two main types of employment permit you can apply for. The first one is general employment permit and the second one is critical skills employment permit. In this video, I'm going to talk just about general skills employment permit and who's eligible and if you can apply for it. And I would also suggest, before you make a decision on which sort of employment permit you have to apply for, to check my other video out on critical skills employment permit and see if your job falls under that category, because critical skills employment permit has some benefits over general employment permit. And like always, all the links to all the resources and videos, I'll be leaving them in the description, so check them out. So I guess let's get started. There are certain criteria you'll have to meet, in order to apply for a general employment permit. First off is pay. So in order to apply for a general employment permit, you have to get paid at least 30 grand a year. So your annual salary must be more than or equal to 30,000 euros per year. And there are a few exceptions to this as well. So you can still apply for a general employment permit even if you're getting 27,000 per year, but you should be a non-European student who graduated in the past 12 months, and if you're offered a graduate role in one of the occupations which fall under critical skills occupation list. So this list basically contains all the job roles and profiles that fall under the list, and if your job falls under that list and if you're still getting paid 27,000 a year, then you can still apply for it. But you should have graduated in the past 12 months in one of the Irish third level education institutions like any universities or institutes of technologies or colleges for education. If you have graduated from that and if you've been offered a graduate role in Ireland, then you can still apply for the employment permit even if you're getting at least 27,000 per year. Also, if you are offered a job as healthcare assistant, you can still apply for the general employment permit, but you'll have to get paid at least 27,000 a year. And even if you have graduated in any overseas third level education, so if you have graduated in the past 12 months in any of other foreign universities or something, but you're offered a role here in Ireland, then you can still apply for an employment permit. Or if you're offered a job in language support or technical support or sales support and you have a fluency in any non-European language and your salary is 27,000 a year, you can still apply for a general employment permit. So the second off, if your job falls under ineligible list of job occupations, then you can't apply for a general employment permit. So in this list, you basically have all the job roles and profiles which falls in ineligible list. And if your job role falls under any of these categories or job roles, then you can't apply for the permit. So make sure to go through the list before you apply for the employment permit. And I've actually taken a look at this general employment permit ineligible occupation list. So it basically contains all the higher level positions like manager roles, admin roles, and there's plenty more. So do take a look at that. And then obviously you'll have to have a job offer before you apply for an employment permit. And also if you are coming through some intermediate organizations or through some recruitment agency and you're not directly employed by your employer in Ireland, then you can't apply for one. So you should have a job offer directly from one of the employers who are registered in Ireland. Only then you can apply for one. So this is probably one of the most discussed terms when it comes to general employment permit, a labor market needs test. So, your employer should show that, they try to fill the vacancy for the job with Irish or European citizen. And they can do this by saying that they posted an ad and submitting proof of the ads they posted on the job websites and also on newspaper and stuff. And they're also supposed to tell that they couldn't find an appropriate candidate for the vacancy and thus they're hiring a non-European citizen for the job role. So for the labor market test, your employer must show a proof that the job ad was posted in the Department of Social Protection and European Employment Services website for at least a period of 4 weeks, and they should also post an ad in national newspaper for at least 3 days and in a local newspaper or any other job website for at least 3 days. So the job ad must include your employer's name, the description of your job and the number of hours you're going to work in a week, your salary and the job location. Again, there are a few exceptions for labor market test. So you don't have to submit a proof of labor market needs test if your job pays you more than 64 grand a year, or if you can submit a proof that you're taking care of a person who has extreme medical condition and they are completely dependent on you, or if the job is recommended by Enterprise Ireland or IDA Ireland, or if you have had an employment permit previously, or if your job falls under critical skills employment permit job list. The next criteria is your company must satisfy the 50-50 rule. So at the time of your application, your company must have employed 50% or more of European employees, and there should be a proof of that more than 50% of the workforce in the company is European citizens. And again, there are a few exceptions to this. So if you are the only employee in the company, then you don't have to satisfy this rule. Okay. Or if your company is client of Enterprise Ireland or IDA Ireland, even then this rule doesn't apply for that role. So how do you apply for this employment permit? So there is an employment permit online system. So you just have to go to the website and then click on general employment permit, and there is a big list of documents that you'll have to prepare before you start your application. And I would suggest go through this document, and this document link is there in the description below. So go through these documents and keep all the documents ready so that your application process is much smoother. And either you or your employer can apply for the permit, and whoever applies, you'll have to pay €1,000, which is the fee for the employment permit. And if your employment permit gets rejected, you'll be getting like 90% of the amount back, which is like €900 back. And you'll also have 28 days to apply for a review of your application when it gets rejected. If you think the reason for your rejection is not valid, or you can submit some proof telling the reason is not valid or something, just apply for a review within 28 days, and if you're lucky enough, you'll probably get accepted. So once your employment permit has been approved, if you're outside Ireland, you'll have to apply for a visa and you have to show this employment permit. And once you get to Ireland, you'll have to make an appointment to get your GNIB or your IRP, which is your residence permit card. So a fee of €300 has to be paid in order to get this, and you can apply online. But the first time you're getting your Irish permit, a residence permit card, you'll have to visit the GNIB center, and you'll have to provide some documents. But from the next time, you can just apply it online and pay your €300 fee, and you have to renew it every year, so you'll have to keep paying €300 every year. So you can get your family members 1 year after you receive the general employment permit, and your partner or spouse can also they'll be getting a stamp 1G visa, and they can start working as soon as they get here, and they can apply for an employment permit. So the general employment permit is issued for a period of 2 years initially. So the amount you'll have to pay is €1,000, but after 2 years you'll have to renew your employment permit, and for that you'll have to pay €1,500, and this renewal stays for 3 more years. So once you have finished 5 years of your employment under general employment permit, then you can apply for a stamp 4 visa. And once you get your stamp 4 visa, you don't need any other employment permit or anything to work in Ireland. You can just apply for whichever company you want, and you can work wherever you want once you get stamp 4. And unfortunately, if you lose your job within the employment permit expiry date or something, so you'll have to notify the Department of Jobs here in Ireland within 28 days of your dismissal, and they'll give you a period of 6 months to find a new job. And once you find a new job, you can apply for a new employment permit, and even if your job falls under ineligible list, you can still apply for one. And also, you can't change jobs for at least 12 months since you get the employment permit under any critical circumstance where you'll have to change your jobs. Unless then, you can't change your jobs. And I would suggest this: just stay with your employer for 2 years until your employment permit expires, so that you don't have to make a new application and pay €1,000 more. And then you can change your jobs after 2 years and get a new employment permit and renew your employment permit for 3 more years. And then once you get stamp 4, everything is just much easier. So that is all you need to know about general employment permit. I hope this gave you at least some clarity about what all you'll need when you're applying for one, and all the fancy terms you need to know about general employment permit. So I guess that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. And guess what month it is? It is December. So fa la 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 la. Until next time, bye bye bye.